The Denver Broncos just got a massive boost heading into their must-win showdown against the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Night Football. And this isn't just good news, it's the kind of news that can flip the momentum of a season. Sean Payton, in his press conference, kept using one word over and over: bonus. And Broncos country, that word couldn't fit this moment any better. The headline? Star tight end Greg Dulcich is finally back. After weeks of battling through injury, Dulcich hit the practice field, and he wasn't just out there jogging, he was flying. He looked sharp, confident, and explosive, the kind of presence this offense has desperately needed. Back injuries are no joke, especially for a skill position player, but seeing Dulcich moving like himself again is a sight for sore eyes in Denver. And make no mistake, his return is more than just another body on the field, it's a weapon. Defenses have been drowning the Broncos in zone coverage, forcing this offense into hesitation and frustration. But Dulcich is a zone buster. He knows how to find the soft spots, sit down in the open grass, and make himself available. He gives Russell Wilson that safety valve, that outlet, that rhythm this passing game has been missing. This is the kind of player who can change everything. In fact, we've already seen glimpses of what Dulcich can do. Remember that preseason flash, when in just one play he nearly outproduced an entire year's worth of tight end numbers? That wasn't a fluke. That was a warning of what he's capable of. And now, he's back. Just in time for the biggest game of the year. What makes Greg Dulcich so dangerous isn't just that he can get open, it's what he does after the catch. This guy turns routine plays into game-changing moments. He has the speed to outrun linebackers, the strength to shed tackles, and the vision to cut through a defense like a knife. And that's exactly what the Broncos have been missing. Without him, the drop-off at tight end has been massive, arguably the biggest gap on the entire roster. You take Dulcich out of the lineup, and suddenly the offense loses a dynamic piece that no one else in that room can replicate. This isn't just about stats. This is about impact. Dulcich is the kind of player who forces defenses to adjust. He can sit down in a zone, he can win one-on-one matchups, and he can punish a linebacker who dares to cover him. Simply put, he gives this offense an edge. And timing couldn't be better. With an extra day built into the schedule before Monday Night Football, Sean Payton made the most of it. Instead of rushing, the team used that bonus time for an extended walkthrough, a chance to sharpen the details, to lock in, to prepare with precision. Payton called it a bonus. And for the Broncos, it truly is. Dulcich returning, extra time to prepare, and a must-win game ahead, it feels like all the pieces are starting to align. The Denver Broncos are a team on edge. 2 heartbreaking losses, games that slipped away in the final moments, and yet, not once this season have they trailed in the fourth quarter. That tells you everything. This team isn't broken. They're fighting, clawing, and one step away from flipping the script. And here's another spark, J.K. Dobbins. He's been even more impactful than Sean Payton imagined, both on and off the field. Statistically, he's already changing the game. In just 3 weeks, Dobbins has nearly matched Javonte Williams' touchdown total from all of last season. He's already piled up almost half the yards Javonte had in 2023, and he's doing it with explosive plays that rip defenses apart. He leads the entire NFL in explosive run rate. Think about that. Every 10 carries, more than one of them breaks for double-digit yardage. He's 4th in the league in explosive rushing yards, 2nd in percentage of explosive yardage. Simply put, he's electric. But it's not just the stats. It's the leadership. Dobbins has taken rookie R.J. Harvey under his wing, just like Mark Ingram once did for him when he entered the league. That mentorship, that passing of the torch, is the kind of thing that builds culture and sustains winning. The Broncos didn't just add a playmaker in J.K. Dobbins. They added a leader. They added an identity. And right now, that feels like another bonus in a season that's begging for a turning point. Some fans have been asking the same question: why only 11 carries for J.K. Dobbins? The truth is, it's about the long game. Everyone knows his talent. Everyone knows he's on pace to post one of the highest yards per carry averages in NFL history. But keeping him healthy for the entire season is the key. And that's exactly why Sean Payton is managing his workload with precision. Better to have Dobbins at full strength in December than burned out by October. Another adjustment Payton has made is hammering early down efficiency. Last week, rookie quarterback Bo Nix faced 3rd and long after 3rd and long, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 11, over and over again. No quarterback thrives in those situations. By emphasizing production on 1st and 2nd down, Payton is giving Nix the chance to play on schedule, to stay aggressive, and to keep this offense moving. And then there's the defense. If you want to talk about bonuses, this might be the biggest one of all. The Broncos' pass rush is relentless. Right now, they're pressuring opposing quarterbacks on 44% of dropbacks, that's second best in the entire NFL, trailing only the Minnesota Vikings by less than a single percentage point. Think about that. Nearly half the time an opposing quarterback drops back against Denver, he's under fire. That's not just pressure, that's chaos. Here's what makes this even more impressive: the Broncos' defensive front has done it against some of the best offensive lines in football. They've faced the Colts and Chargers, both loaded with expensive, talented linemen, and still found ways to dominate. Compare that to Minnesota, who racked up their numbers against weaker units like the Bengals and a banged-up Bears line. Denver's production is the real deal. And it's not just about pressure, it's about finishing. The Broncos rank 4th in the NFL in sack rate, proving they're not just disrupting plays, they're ending them. Even more impressive, they're doing it without selling out on the blitz. This defense can rush 4 and still collapse the pocket, generating pressure on nearly half of an opponent's dropbacks. That's championship-level defense. But while the defense is thriving, there's an interesting wrinkle on offense. The Broncos are using pre-snap motion less than any other team in the league, just 15% of the time. To put that in perspective, the next lowest team is still 7 percentage points higher, and the league average is nearly double what Denver is doing. Why? Because defenses aren't challenging the Broncos with man coverage. They're sitting back in zone, daring Bo Nix to pick them apart. And Payton knows motion doesn't do much to manipulate zone looks. The real question now: how will Denver adjust? How will they attack the soft spots, break the rhythm of those zones, and give their rookie quarterback the answers he needs? That chess match, Payton versus defensive coordinators, could define the next stretch of this season. One thing that stands out right now: defenses aren't giving Bo Nix the same looks he carved up last season. Through 3 weeks, he's only facing man coverage about 13% of the time. Instead, defenses are drowning him in zone, forcing him to process, hesitate, and adapt. When it's man coverage, you can see it: Nix knows exactly where to go with the football. The challenge now is mastering the answers against zone. But if there's one thing we know about him, it's that he's a relentless student of the game. With Sean Payton guiding him, it feels less like an obstacle and more like a puzzle waiting to be solved. Eventually, defenses are going to regret leaning on the same script. And while the offense works through that adjustment, the offensive line deserves serious credit, especially Garrett Bowles. For years, Broncos fans held their breath every time they heard "holding, number 72." But this season? He's been a wall. Bowles has allowed pressure on just 4.7% of snaps against edge rushers, one of the lowest rates in the entire league. That's not just improvement. That's redemption. Against real competition, against talented pass rushes, Bowles is finally delivering the consistency Denver has been waiting for. The only real weak spot for Denver's protection so far has been on the interior, but even there, the numbers aren't alarming. Ben Powers has given up some pressure, but overall, this offensive line is holding strong. Mike McGlinchey and Quinn Meinerz are both performing well below the league average in pressures allowed, giving Bo Nix the stability he needs to grow. And here's where it gets exciting. This week, the Bengals bring an offensive line that looks vulnerable, especially at tackle. Nick Bonitto is set to face a left tackle who's allowing pressure on 17% of snaps. 17%. That's practically an invitation to wreak havoc. And when you factor in blitzing linebackers, Cincinnati has been giving up heat nearly every other time they send pressure. Vance Joseph has to be licking his chops. This is a matchup built for the Broncos defense to dominate. And let's not forget, this team is 1-2, but both losses came on last-second field goals. Denver hasn't trailed a single second in the fourth quarter all year. That tells you something. This is no bottom feeder. This is a team that fights to the last whistle, a team just a play or two away from flipping heartbreak into momentum. The league may have counted them out, but Broncos country knows better. The talent is real. The bonuses keep stacking up. And if this team continues to build, to believe, and to battle the way they have, don't be surprised when they're making a deep playoff run come January. The Broncos are not done. They're just getting started.